The Cincinnati Bengals. Let me tell you, man, when they went 9-8 this year, it was both funny and sad because Joe Burrow was playing so well. Jamar Chase was playing so well. Trey Hendrickson was playing so well. They probably were top 5 in their respective positions, and they went 9-8. If that does not tell you that this team needs some work, I don't know what does. But luckily for you guys, I have the solutions, Bengals fans. I have the solutions to help you guys get back to what you guys were a couple of years ago, and that was Super Bowl contenders. It starts with this. Cut the crap and re-sign Jamar Chase. Let's not make this harder than it was. You should have done it last year, and it would have been cheaper last year. And now, after the Triple Crown this year, it's going to be more expensive. That sucks. But hey, do what you got to do. Jamar Chase, extend him now. You need to. Next up, I don't understand why everybody's saying trade Trey Hendrickson. Re-sign him too. There is no point in trying to risk it with draft picks, especially since the Bengals historically have not been very good drafting. Okay? So, bottom line, like straight up, cut it with Chase and with Hendrickson. Let's cut the bull crap. Literally just re-sign him. Don't even think about it. Next up, T. Higgins. I know what you're about to say. Oh, do we trade him too? I said a couple of weeks ago that they should trade or not trade Cooper, not trade Coop for Cooper Kupp, but they should, that they should trade for Cooper Kupp. I actually rescind that statement. I think you keep T. Higgins as well. You keep those three together. Think about it like this. What in the world do you gain? From deciding to letting T. Higgins walk for nothing? You don't gain anything. All right. You re-sign Chase, you re-sign Higgins. You've already had success with the trio of Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. You have something there. Don't get rid of it. No point in getting rid of it. All right, that's the bottom line. Now, there's a couple other things that I think that the Bengals need to do, and that's address the defensive line via draft. Bottom line is this, okay? The trenches were lost, okay? In both sides of the ball, they were lost. And we'll get to the offensive line in just a second. But the bottom line is you need to get somebody that is going to be in those trenches, maybe next to BJ Hill. I don't know. If you want to re-sign BJ Hill, that's fine. I'm fine with you keeping BJ Hill. I am. But there is a guy by the name of Walter Nolan from Ole Miss that I really like, that I feel like would really, really help you guys. Look, let's cut to the chase, okay? There's no reason. Jamar Chase, no pun intended. Let's be very obvious here. The Bengals defense was the reason last year was a failure. Okay, it was no question the reason it was a failure. And Lou Anarumo is gone. I think you got to rebuild the trenches. BJ Hill, if you want to let him walk, let him walk. There's really no point in passing up on a guy like Walter Nolan who can make up for that. Now, another thing that I would like them for them to do, Jermaine Pratt said that he wanted to get out of there. Do it for him. Yeah, absolutely. Let him walk. He was not very good in coverage this year. And Gathers Williams was so much better than him in coverage that I think that you deciding to get rid of Jermaine Pratt would essentially be like replacing the same person with the same person. We all know Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt were a pretty good linebacker duo. That duo has run its course. William Davis Gathers will get the job done. No questions asked. Now, this one is going to hit heavy for most Bengals fans. Because they love this character, this guy, Sam Hubbard. It's time to let him go. It's time to cut him. I know what you're thinking. Why Sam Hubbard is really good. He had a rough year this year, man, and I don't think you need him. I have an alternative. And I know this is going to sound a little bit crazy, but probably one of the crazier things I've said. You can let go of Sam Hubbard and bring in somebody like a Chase Young. Chase Young is coming off a pretty solid year. He had 7 sacks last year. Excuse me. He had a pretty solid year last year. And I think that it would benefit you personally. I think it would benefit you replacing Sam Hubbard with somebody who's a better player, objectively, in my opinion, like Chase Young, in a prove-it deal. Pair him next to Trey Hendrickson. You draft Walter Nolan, like I said. Your defensive line immediately is a lot better. Like this, right? As for the secondary, it's a really weird situation with the secondary because I do think Geno Stone and Jordan Battle are a good safety duo. I don't think that's a bad safety duo. I really think the Bengals secondary fought a lot of injuries, and there really isn't anybody there that I would like try to replace. Now, I will say this. I will say this. It's very difficult running it back with a similar defense as the defense that was so bad last year. But think about it like this. Dax Hill was out for most of the year last year, one of their primary corners. Cam Taylor-Britt had a rough year. I think he'll bounce back. And Mike Hilton's one of the better slot corners in the entire league. I don't think it's worth it to just kind of take away from that core immediately, especially given that they've had success in the past. So I think it would benefit to run it back with that core, revamp your linebacker group, quick fix. Jermaine Pratt wants out, trade him, put Davis Gathers in there. Sam Hubbard, cut him, throw in a Chase Young, or draft a pass rusher, whatever works for you. But the bottom line is, I don't think, and this is going to be the main thing of this video, if there's anything you take away from this video, it's this. You don't need to blow it up completely. You do not. You don't need to. You can re-sign everybody and you're still competing. You want to know why? You have Joe freaking Burrow on your team, man. Joe Burrow elevates his team to new heights. Okay, he had a fantastic year last year, and he would have been MVP had his defense not been complete and utter crap. So don't try to make any crazy fixes. This team went to the back-to-back AFC Championship games and had a Super Bowl appearance not too long ago. There is no reason to just break this thing apart like this. I don't think there is. Money is tight, but stick with the core that got you to the promised land. Resign Jamar Chase, resign Trey Hendrickson, resign T. Higgins. Those 3 moves in general, I still think can get you back to the promised land. Joe Burrow is one of the only QBs to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. He's one of the only QBs to do so. I think that means something. And he did that with the core that I just mentioned. Don't try to make this harder than it is. Don't try to maneuver your way, try to big brain your way out of this. In my opinion, there's no free agent out there that's a wide receiver, and no wide receiver that's available for trade out there that is better right now than what T. Higgins brings to you. Re-sign him, extend Jamar Chase, extend Trey Hendrickson, do everything I said in this video, and the Bengals will be back in the AFC Championship as soon as this year.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.